4,
3,
2,
1. Ahad. Wait, count in Hebrew down real quick. 3, 2, 1.
Look at high.
Shalosh. Easy. That's 3.
I can turn him up more.
Stein.
That's
Stein's a cool sounding word.
That's ugly.
Stein?
Stein.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah, that's ugly.
I'm doing the first 3 minutes.
So
of this
welcome to the
podcast
new
with no
episode
glasses.
of.
He's doing the first 3 episodes. We need to turn.
What'd you say?
Is he still quiet?
Y'all can't hear me?
I
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear
Yeah, I turned him up.
I can hear you. What'd you say? You're
Welcome
doing the
to
first
another
3
episode
minutes
of
of
One
what?
Jew.
I'm doing the first 3 minutes with no glasses.
What a treat.
Why, you're going to get vulnerable? What's happening? Look, he's going to get vulnerable. He's got some shit to say, dude.
Well,
Yeah, I want the American people to look me in my fucking eyes. Because I'm running for president.
well,
2024. You're going to have to beat Kanye. Whoa.
Oh, that's your groove for president, huh?
I guess that's something.
And did
That's
you just
our
say, what was the name that you said? Stein was a good name?
No,
Because
it's
yesterday we were hanging out and
Oh, that's a
Max
great-
couldn't stop laughing and calling me Bob.
I just think
He
Bob
just
is a
kept
funny
going,
name.
and then he would just—I've never known a man who could make himself laugh. Easier.
Bob's a funny word.
He would just,
Hey,
and then
Bob.
he would just we'd be
That's funny.
quiet, and he'd just go Bob and start laughing, like uncontrollably.
Yeah, because Max is a little
A child.
autistic.
It was really interesting.
Bob's a funny name.
I think Max is
legitimately.
the exact opposite of an autistic person, you know? I think autistic people are very, like, knowledgeable about some things and, like...
No, I think Max
Versus
is-
me
He
being
just-
knowledgeable about
You
everything.
describing Max.
I'm knowledgeable about everything.
No,
Unlike an
Max is
autistic
quite
person.
knowledgeable and spectrumy, but I do admire
We're on
the
the
ability to
spectrum.
laugh at himself that he has. Like he can just say Bob 5 times and lose his mind with laughter.
Bob really cracks you up that much.
In certain
And
moments.
you're, look...
I'm texting our guest.
Oh,
Oh, well, tell us about her, because you wouldn't tell us about me
All right,
before.
but no, let's. You know what? We have a fucking format,
Okay.
and we're gonna follow it.
Okay.
All right,
Bob.
Jarren, how
Oh,
was
you
your
got
week?
your mask on, man.
How
How
was
was my
your week?
week?
Yes.
It was not good.
Yeah.
I'll tell
What was
you
the
happened.
highlight?
Tell us what happened.
I was on my way to the studio to record, and my car hit a pothole. And it's just all I heard was sound like I hit a car. It was a pothole, and then my fucking tire went flat. I didn't have the shit in my car to change it, so I had to call AAA. And when AAA came, they changed the tire. Went to record. Then the next day I went to the tire place, and it wasn't the tire. The fucking rim is fucked up, and the rim is
we cut
bent.
this instead
So
of some
when
of
the
your other
rim
stories?
bent, it knocked all the air out the tire. And I had to pay $514 for another rim.
Are you going to sue the city of Atlanta for that?
Yo, is that possible?
I feel like you should be able to. Can you sue a city for pothole
Maybe
damages?
if you're a lawyer, you should ask your ex-wife.
That's a litigious move. I don't know. It's hard to do. Then you end up, in court for a long time.
For
waiting,
$500
waiting on that bag. Yeah, and then the cops come after you to try to get it back, and all that
So,
kind of gangster
as
shit
your-
goes down.
It gets
Therapist.
worse. It gets worse.
It gets
No,
worse.
it gets better.
No,
All right.
let's hear it. Okay, what else
So-
after that?
I ordered a bunch of shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I was in the studio just pissed off about my tire. And then I realized, I don't know, I'll just look at an alert about some shit that was about to be delivered. And everything that I ordered, I put the wrong address.
Where did it go to? Like
Luckily,
close to your house?
I forgot that I put the wrong addresses. I put the right address, but I was off a digit in the number.
So it went to like your
So I
neighbor.
put the wrong. Good thing it did. It didn't go to my neighbor because there is no address that exists.
So it was
on this-
undeliverable,
in
and there you
this
go. You got a
community.
ping, and therefore you were able to take care of it and get your stuff.
Yes.
Oh, so that's
Lovely.
great. Look at that.
So there's
Trying
a
to put my
highlight.
glasses on.
Is it odd or is it God?
It all works out in the end.
It all
Yeah, I was
Everything
upset.
is as it's supposed to be.
it all worked
Yeah.
out.
Well, can you tell us a highlight of your week? Something good. We talked about this. You got to focus on the positives.
You're right. What was the good thing? I'm breathing.
It's not that good.
Setting the bar low there, pal.
Pretty low. Glass 150th full. All right.
What else is a good highlight?
Digging. Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
My kids are alive.
Hey, that's
Yeah,
good.
That's
a good
great.
One.
That's
This sounds
lovely.
like a gratitude list.
Gratitude list. That's what we're trying to
But
do.
like you're
here.
on like this sounds like a gratitude list when you've done it 50 days in a row,
And you're, like,
you're
really
searching.
digging.
You're like, I'm
gotta dig
alive.
sometimes.
My kids are breathing.
Well, you know what we should do? A group gratitude list. A high school
what is
dropouts
this?
gratitude list.
On Thanksgiving, yeah.
No, like we should just do it in the morning to hype each other up.
I'm not
for
a big,
our
I'm
days.
not a big gratitude list guy.
Well, maybe you
I don't
should
trust
be.
it. I don't.
You're skeptical of the list?
Yeah, I'm
It's a great-
skeptical
Let's
of
talk about the
writing.
list.
I'm skeptical of writing the list. I don't think it really does.
I never
anything.
write it. I just think
Really?
about it.
Well, no. I don't know about the list. So have you done it?
Kyle's a thumper.
I've done it. Yes.
And at the end of it, you just felt like this is a bunch of horseshit?
Yeah, I just was like,
coming back.
it feels a little forced. I like gratitude when it's like a genuine feeling, and I think you can express your gratitude in actions. You know, like keeping my room clean. I can tell if I'm actually in a place of gratitude of where I live. I keep my room clean, or I keep my space clean. You know, like my car right now is broken as fuck. It's disgusting. I have no gratitude for that thing. You know, but I
I
don't,
don't
think, like,
understand how you or Max, like y'all, your car is nowhere near as bad as Max. How
don't
do
know,
y'all
mine's
keep
pretty
your
bad.
cars so bad?
Wait,
Like,
no, I
it's
want to
so
talk about his
nasty.
gratitude thing for one more second, and then we're gonna talk about his
The car.
disgusting car.
Yeah.
What I learned about gratitude, I'm not very good at doing this, but it was like someone was telling me it was like it's like a muscle. Like it actually like practice helps. I don't mean practice like doing good things and therefore you'll have gratitude. Literally forcing yourself to be.
You have to think about the things you're grateful for.
That then like it becomes kind of like second nature, like a habit. Like you kind of automatically think of it more, and therefore you become more grateful. I'm not saying it works. It sounds kind of hokey, but it seems like a thing. Like you literally that's why they say practice gratitude. I'm not like telling you to do this. I'm just saying like I heard it. I think it kind of makes some sense. Like you force yourself to do it a little bit more, it becomes more habitual, and therefore like you kind of end up in gratitude more often.
I think there is I think some people they buy in quicker.
yeah.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, oh shit, I have shoes. You know what I mean, shit like that, and they're
Yeah.
like, all of a sudden they're not pissed off that they got dumped. You know,
Yeah.
But like, I think that for other cases, you need to really practice that. You need to like actually write a gratitude list, like, you know, every day for like 30 days, and then by the end of that 30 days, you probably will feel more grateful. You know what I mean? Like it just is what it. Like you're actually pointing out things that are dope in your life. You know what I'm saying? Every
Yeah.
fucking day. Like, so yeah, one isn't a magic bullet, but
Yeah.
but I do think it sort of echoing what Max says.
No, maybe. I mean, I've been on a journey of self help for a while now, and I just now started meditating every day, and it's a huge help.
Yeah.
It really is. It genuinely, not even in like a big way where I feel like I'm fucking zen all the time, but I can tell a difference of like more aware of my feelings and shit.
Well, I've tried to waltz into your room in the morning and sing you a song, and you're like, "Get out! I need to meditate."
Yeah, I have to meditate every morning. I think that's so.
Selfish.
Maybe I think the gratitude. I'm slow. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's like a practice. I think that's dope that you're doing. I think we should go to Bali.
We're going to Bali.
I try that too. Actually, I'm not successful every morning, but every day I try to meditate for 15 minutes. And my meditation isn't like some crazy shit. I just really just sit in silence and kind of like try to clear my mind for like 15 minutes. I don't do it every day, but I try. But I noticed that too. When I was doing it more, it does help.
You just feel
I get horny when I meditate.
really.
Yeah, like I start to think because I get into fantasy mode. My spank bank starts to come
I go
into
false.
focus, and then I'm just horny. I'm like, fuck, I want to, you know what I mean? And I know you're supposed to let all the feelings and thoughts
Just
kind of come and then go.
Yeah.
but they just kind of come.
They just kind of come.
All right. Well, how was your week? You did
My week was great. I went backpacking in a canyon for
You're having
4
too many
days.
great weeks
Hey,
back
you
to
went
back to
white
back.
boying.
I did. That's what my buddy said. He said, "Oh, you're real white this week, huh?" I was like, "Yep." I was.
Recharge the whiteness.
Although I'm not really like all my friends were like climbing up on shit, and like I'm not really into that. You know, I don't like.
Did y'all see that fucking cougar?
Yes,
Almost-
bro.
Whoa, what?
That shit. Because I was in Utah too, and I was like, we were scared that like a mountain lion was gonna get us, and then we got back and saw that video and was like,
Well, the cougar's like.
So the cougar killed
"Yeah,
somebody?
you saw that video?"
Did they run like this?
It
What the
was-
fuck is
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that?
know,
about to
dude.
attack.
When it was doing that, I was like,
Yeah.
Some viral video I
this
saw.
guy, this hiker in Provo, Utah, was like just hiking, and he walked upon like some cubs, and then was like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, hell no.
And then he pulled out his phone, I think, and he was backing up, and the mama cougar was like chasing him for 6 minutes, like not running, but like
In that zone of like
in
death
that,
creep.
in that death creep, and then every now and then
Yeah.
it would go, it like would spread its
Flex.
and just and like hiss at him, and he just kept being like, "I don't want to die today. I don't want to die today."
You kept saying that and think?
yeah, yeah. Kept
Wait, I
saying
didn't watch
that.
the
Yeah.
So what
That's
ended
some
up
bitch
happening?
ass shit, bro.
He threw a rock at it, and the cat
and
ran
it
away.
ran.
That's nice. All right, he
Now,
manned
do
up.
you see why now I keep my gun with me all the time?
You're not hiking in Provo. You're going to Starbucks in Atlanta.
Would you have shot?
Still,
Would you have flashed?
motherfucking mountain lion might pop up in Starbucks.
Would you have brandished your weapon?
You would have flashed steel on the cougar in that moment, bro.
I would have shot him. I wouldn't even flash it. I would have shot him ASAP.
I wonder, does the cougar know if you flash? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying?
know. What if they come at you
know.
immediately?
And you flash, so they're like, oh, he's packing heat. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure there are some animals that I mean, I don't know,
know.
that may be familiar with, like, they don't know what it is, but they know, like, oh,
He's strapped.
I'm not gonna fuck with that guy.
That's a strap.
I don't know.
You know what's weird is that he threw the
Is this turning
rock.
into like an Animal Planet show?
He threw the rock, which was like
for a bit.
which was a good move. But I was wondering, what if the cat was just like, "Oh hell no, bitch," and came at him? You know, that's like a risk.
That's
Yeah.
an instant. Is that death for sure? For sure? For sure?
On the rock tip, if you hit him and then he
no,
just
like
comes at
the
you.
cat attacks, like you're
If the
dead.
cat, if
so
you
strong,
don't
bro.
escape it,
I mean, I
it's-
think
kind
it
of
depends on who
attacks
you
the
are.
cougar?
It depends on who you are.
Mountain lion, yeah.
I
Do they
mean,
stop and like?
you would
the
have
way
to
she
fight for your
attacks
life.
up.
yeah, you got to fight for your life. And I think if you are, fucking really powerful Brazilian jiu-jitsu master,
Yeah, maybe
you might
you
be able
could
to
get
get him
a
an arm bar.
maybe you could get a choke on it. yeah, maybe you could
Yeah.
get him in full
Or
guard,
Jarren.
and you just
Or
fucking-
Jarren.
you just fucking get
But
him
they
to
going
tap.
for the
He's
neck.
like, good
the
roll,
the
good
key
roll.
is to not let them motherfuckers get that neck.
Is that what they go for
the neck is-
instinctually? They just fucking want to.
Yeah,
know.
they're going for the neck.
There was that guy
Okay.
who said he fought one with his bare hands. People don't trust him. He was like
Oh,
kind
really?
of scratched up, and he was like, "I killed one with my bare hands."
I think I just got a
He
ping
probably did.
that-
How much did they weigh?
Like 120, maybe.
I'm gonna look this shit up now.
I think
He probably could have.
they could get up to like 150.
Doc Antle, I think, just got arraigned or some shit.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you
Oh,
do.
the Tiger King guy.
Yeah, the ponytail from the Tiger King. He got arraigned or he's under investigation, like officially. I don't know, something like pinged on my phone.
Dude, this
like Apple News.
Wait, so how much can they weigh?
Up to 198 pounds.
Oh, my.
115 to 198 pounds. Males.
Significant.
Dude,
This is a
100,
female, though.
You
100,
better hope you get a 115-pound one.
dude, 198 pound cougar.
Yeah, it's
What
over.
percentage body fat are they?
Females rarely exceed 110 pounds.
Oh.
Yeah, this one did look kind of like not that. I mean, I wouldn't want it chasing
Yeah,
after
But
me.
like fucking 90 pounds of sheer muscle and
Just-
death. Like, come on, bro.
a 90-pound house cat essentially that will fuck your ass up. That
So
like,
fast.
oh my, dude, the move it did though when it like
Was
The flap move, the flap
Amazing.
flex.
it was so.
is that how they run? Do their legs go out when
I
they
don't
run?
think
or
he was
that
running. I
something-
think
run-
he was
kinda like
that was a
So when they run, their legs don't go out
attack
like
mode.
that.
No, he was like, get the fuck away, bitch.
That's
like
weird
He was like,
shit.
I'm about to
They
fuck
run
you
up
up.
to 50 miles per hour.
Pretty fast.
So you ain't outrunning that motherfucker.
Hell, what, dude,
I want to see if this motherfucker really did kill the cougar, though.
see if the dude, say guy killed
I
cougar
mean,
with bare
I
hands.
believe if it's a big guy, I mean, and he could probably wrestle the fuck out of it. He can scratch the fuck up. But if you going for its neck and you just choking the fuck out of it continuously,
How
kill
big are
it.
their claws? Like if one gets in your neck, is that like?
You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. If a mountain lion gets your, oh my god, could you imagine if there was like a bunch of them?
They're saying he smothered him.
Oh, you're fucked.
So they're saying a Colorado guy while jogging. And then it says, according to the cougar attacked, and according to police, the man smothered the cat with his bare hands in spite of being severely injured. And then it says the lion lunged
there's
at the runner.
possibility, man.
Yeah,
I believe him.
you believe him?
Smothered.
Yeah.
He was able to choke it, which is very incredible, said Rebecca Farrell. You know, Rebecca Farrell wanted him to choke her.
Yeah.
100%.
Rebecca was like, oh, he
That's
choked.
incredible.
Choking that cougar? That's crazy.
Choke this cougar.
Rebecca's a nasty ass. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
if you're a big guy and you got your composure, the thing is you're going to be frantic and you're going to be scared.
That's right.
So you're not thinking. But if you kind of can keep your composure
Take a
within
cl-
the shit happen, you possibly could fucking fuck it up.
You just got to be prepared to
You
take
have
a
a
claw,
bat.
take a claw to the arm.
You're waiting for it with a bat.
I don't think a bat would work.
But just for anyone who does have an encounter,
Oh yeah, that will work.
I think a bat could be
You
good.
think?
really?
Let's say you have a full-fledged 198-pound male mountain lion.
I think
you
more
have
a woman
bat,
at 90.
and you think you can?
I
can
think
you-
I think a bat is not enough for
No.
198.
Well, what about the one? The buck.
I think a bat.
100-pound
I think
lady.
you might stand a chance. A bat versus a buck
versus 100-pound.
I'm just saying,
versus
you
100
have
pound.
like a one shot with the bat. It's not like in the wrestling mode, but like if they're charging at you and you have your bat ready,
You can slam
they
it.
lunge. If you hit it right,
But you
might
can
be
keep
all right.
hitting.
Yeah,
You can just
you
keep
hit him one
swinging,
time in his
swinging.
Yeah, but I feel
head.
like in small quarters that could be hard.
Get the
You gotta have your-
Like a cat's on you, and you're like,
You gotta have your tight quarters bat attack game.
Yeah, I think that's tough.
Max, you dead, dog.
Of
But
course.
yo,
Yeah.
I do want to make sure we as high school dropouts left folks know if you encounter a mountain lion, the Colorado Parks and Wildlife recommends that you stop or back away slowly.
That's what the guy was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running may stimulate a lion's instinct to chase and attack. Face the lion and stand upright. Try to seem larger. If they behave aggressively, throw stones, branches, or whatever you can get your hands on without crouching down or turning your back.
Wow.
Or just bring
he
a
knew.
pistol with
Dude,
you
he
when you
literally
hike.
How did he get the rock?
He literally did those. I think he like kind of like reached down slightly, but he was like looking to see where he was going, never turned his back on it, and grabbed the rock and just fucking chucked it at it.
It did
Hit
not
him?
say pull out a 9mm
Hit
and
Wait, did when he threw the rock, did it hit the cow?
I don't think he hit the cat.
whatever it's
I think the
called?
cat just was like, fuck this, and ran away.
That's what this guy, you ever
not
seen
worth
this
it.
one? Is this dude, it was this moose about to attack this guy. And he's like, oh shit. He pulled his pistol out and got him twice. It was all, he stopped, froze. And it was over. That motherfucker just dropped.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, they're like
Bullwinkle?
hunting. He shot him, and the moose was
Yeah.
like, hell nah, and charged at him. And
After
he
getting
just,
shot?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
the
just
moose
kept
was
bucking him
fucking
down?
And what happened?
They fucking
Now,
killed the moose.
I don't know if he was hunting or not, but he was just driving his fucking snow thing, whatever you call it, snowmobile. And he was kind of in a dead end where he couldn't get past the moose. Then the moose just started charging him. He's like, oh, no, no, no. And he's like, bow, bow, bow.
moose kill
That
people
moose is
every
like,
year.
Yeah, why are they aggressive like
Well,
that?
I think they actually in Maine, people there's so many of them that people hit them on the road, but it's like hitting a fucking brick wall, and so people die every year in moose collisions.
Hey, and they're aggressive too.
Well, I mean, if you go toe to toe with a moose, them motherfuckers will horn you down.
No
bro.
bat?
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
ain't,
save
you ain't, yeah, you ain't fucking.
Have you
getting
guys heard
that
of those deer in that are extinct in Ireland? They're like 9-foot tall deer.
Oh,
They're
Wow.
huge, but they're not around anymore. They're fucking dead.
Like 9 foot
like
on his legs or
I think
off his legs?
Giant deer?
I think like on his legs, 9 foot tall.
That's crazy.
Oh, that ain't really.
That's pretty tall, dude.
You mean if it's
Yeah.
on its hind legs or whatever, and just like going like this?
How big was it? Does it say?
Ireland deer?
Ireland.
Giant
I was looking
Ireland
up
deer?
how many moose deaths there are, but let me look up Ireland.
Look up Ireland. Look at the Ireland,
Ireland
deer.
giant deer.
Ireland giant deer.
But yeah, I was in the mountain. We saw a tarantula. It was pretty spooky.
The Irish elk.
Irish
So-
elk. Yeah.
Holy shit! Let's take a
They're
look.
pretty big, right?
I'm gonna see Irish elk size.
Yeah.
We're such
I'm
educators.
outdoorsy now. I went to Utah. We went
Oh my
to
god, bro!
How
Okay,
tall
wait,
do they get?
Giant extinct. They're extinct, bro.
Yeah, they're extinct now.
Largest deer ever. It stood up to 7 feet at the shoulder, with antlers spanning up to 12 feet. So, I don't know. This isn't that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
if you
guess
see
that's
the
not-
picture of like these two people standing next to it, it looks like a huge moose, like a moose on steroids.
Yeah, think of a moose, but like its stomach is like at your head. That's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah, that is.
Because its stomach is 7 foot tall. No, it's like its fucking stomach is like 7 feet. You know what I mean? Like the top of its
You could
back
like
is 7
walk
feet
under
tall.
the deer's legs. Like you could like walk
Because the
It's a
top of its
bridge.
back is 7 feet tall. That's,
That's
what they're saying.
crazy,
Yeah.
Like the top of the back is Shaq.
dude. But they got extinct because they fucked around too much.
Imagine if Shaq had antlers.
I don't
How was
think
your
he would be
week,
playing
Kyle?
basketball.
Yeah, how was your week, Kyle?
Oh, it was crazy, man. I'm going through it, bro. My younger brother is kind of a little bit off the rails in terms of. I mean, he's not contacting the family, bro. He's
Oh, damn.
yeah, I think he's in some depression stuff, and so it's been a long time. It's been over 3 months since I've heard from him, and so we had to deploy some mental health folks that we know to go in and support. So hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, it's been a challenging week over here for the executive producer, man.
Is your brother doing okay?
I hope so. I haven't heard from him. The mental health lady went and knocked on the door today. He's alive. His business partner says that he's like going to work, but that he's just shutting everyone out and staying inside. So yeah, man, it's not.
I feel him, man.
Yeah, you know what it is, man. It can be
I was feeling
difficult.
like that this week. Hell yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, man. But aside from that, everything's roses.
Well,
That's good.
Well, no, actually, everything's also
decrepit.
sucks.
Yeah.
But no, it looks like Pink Cloud Studios is
Gonna make it.
possibly gonna make it.
Yeah.
Gonna make our rent next month.
Oh, well, that's
Hey,
all.
So that feels good.
That's a W.
Yeah, we got a big client.
Yeah,
Who was his client?
I'll tell you next week. Or I'll tell you after
All
the
right.
episode.
How was your week then?
Well, My week was fine. I spent a lot of time alone because, no, I don't know.
Yeah, were you a good boy while the parents were gone?
I was.
That's good.
I was. I did a little laundry one night. That was a lot.
Did you do anything weird?
I know. That's what I was.
Did you go into anyone's room, Max? Or
I
take
went to
anyone's
Ian's
food?
room for a half a second to look for a fork. But
That's an interesting.
We have
No,
one.
we should
We have
go
one
cool.
fork in the house right now.
it's not me.
Like I've been eating steak with a spoon. That's
Yeah,
how bad.
I bought a salad off Uber Eats and had to eat it with a spoon.
Holy shit!
That's Max,
so-
dog. Max,
I know.
Max doing some weird shit with the
No.
fork.
That's literally what I said because I've had these forks. Me and Ian have lived
You think
together.
I threw them away? Do
Me
I
and-
ever throw? Did
me,
you just
hold
give
on.
me a finger?
Me and Ian have lived together for 2 years. We've had
He goes
forks
on one trip and now he's
we've had forks forever. We've always had the same forks the whole time.
Forks
I've
forever.
lived with Max for 3 months. We have one fork now.
What do you think I could have done?
I don't know what the hell you're
You know
doing.
I don't throw things away. It's not like
I don't
Yeah,
know
he
what you
collecting
clean
them
up. I don't
motherfuckers.
He's
throw away.
collecting. He's doing some weird shit. It's okay. You're doing
Yeah.
something.
whatever.
We'll check your car. It's bad. Whatever. But yeah, so you were home alone.
Yeah, I don't know. Just working, really.
Okay.
That nigga was right. Hey, that nigga was rifling through y'all shit, man.
looking for a
No.
damn fork.
I had to buy my own cereal.
Good.
Yeah.
Um.
Honestly, not much to report.
Hey, that nigga Max was in y'all underwear drawer sniffing y'all shit, man.
With a fork.
With a fork. That's why he has them.
All right. Easy does it.
That's so good.
All right, so we have a guest.
Is she coming on right now?
I'm about to send it to her. She said, "Can you email it?" So I will in a second. So let me tell you about her real quick.
Can I say something real ill about her before she comes? Like I do. This is my thing. I
like
do this
it.
with every guest.
Yeah,
before
I kinda
they
like
come
it.
on.
Yeah, I kind of like it too.
Did I tell
Yeah.
you? Nah.
What is this? What is this cunt have?
But it's always if it's a girl guest though. That's the
No,
fucked up
you know
thing.
what? No, because she's actually my friend.
Okay.
Like I've known her since I was like 5 years old. So no,
Okay. So tell us about
She's
it.
gay, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Women in 2020.
So she's
Oh.
fucking.
Oh,
That
hot
sounded-
take! You're saying every
she's
woman
a
in
carpet
No, but-
muncher.
All right. So no, I'll tell you.
She drives a Subaru.
So she's a fan, first of all, which is dope.
My ex drives a Subaru.
She go to the Lilith Fair.
I don't know what that means.
Wait, your ex drives a Subaru, the tough one?
No,
Oh, not the tough one.
not
Okay.
the non-tough one.
The
Oh,
ween
okay.
one.
A little bit of a ween, but you know.
The whatever.
All right, well, tell us
All
about
right, so basically, I grew up with her Orthodox Jewish. She was very Orthodox as a child, and in that community, even more than like her family and everything, even a little bit more than me. Was also very like smart and good at school. I didn't see her for a long time or hear from her. I knew she was like around and the whatever, like alive and doing well, but I didn't really know much. In the last couple of years, I've like reconnected with her just a little bit, like because we were both in Seattle for different reasons and saw each other, blah blah blah. So again, last time I saw her, she was like doing really well in school in like Jewish Orthodox tract. Now she's I believe it's a non-denominational chaplain, and she's not at all religious, and she's dating a black woman, which is unexpected from like the Jewish
I was
Orthodox
going to say,
community.
which is unacceptable.
Unexpected.
He was
But
like, you can go lesbian,
know,
but
I
don't
think-
you dare date a black
I think she
woman.
would have some experience
Yeah.
on some of the an interesting perspective on some of the topics we've talked about on this show in terms
All right,
of
how are we
like-
going to do this? How are we going to not fuck this up, guys?
Yeah, let's don't fuck
So,
this up.
so one of the
So
things.
she like a little brown sugar in her mouth.
well,
We're
don't
gonna
we all?
fuck it
Well, I
up.
guess we are going to fuck it up. But,
Yeah,
but let's get some
so
strategy real
The,
fast.
the one other thing and the way it came about her being a guest is again she's
Maybe
also
we
like,
can ask her about the smell thing with black people.
Oh,
that
good.
is funny. I fuck with that.
Okay, that's a good one.
But I just want to say one more thing about how she came about being a guest. So she's also like extremely woke. Like every once in a while I get a text from her like, be sure to vote. I mean, just like whatever, extremely woke.
So we can shit on her a little bit?
A little bit. And so I assumed like she would be like the
Does
last
she
person
ever
who would,
sleep?
like- what?
Does she ever sleep?
You just
Oh.
leave those to him.
Come on, bro. Cousin of death.
All right. So so I assumed she would be the kind of person who's not a fan of our show. Turns out she is. So I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she hit me. So when we missed an episode a couple weeks ago, she hit me up. And again, we don't like talk.
Like,
She hit
what's
me up.
going
She's
on
like,
with-
"Where's this week's episode? I'm a huge fan." I was like,
Wow.
what? Because just she's like the most woke person I grew up
That's
with.
dope.
So it's like, you know.
Hold on,
wouldn't
so
think-
you saying woke people are not supposed to be fans of our show?
Yeah, I would imagine that people who are super woke would be a little turned off.
Yeah,
by
it
the
might be a
show.
little turned off.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear us?
Hey,
Brockman.
Miss Brockman, how you doing?
All right.
No, we made it work.
We made it
Man.
work. There was some issue. Okay, so let me just introduce everybody.
Oh, wait, if I need earphones, what's going on?
I don't care. Do you need
Can
them?
you hear us?
I can hear you.
Then you're fine.
So,
All right.
you don't need them.
All right, so
Cool.
the people in order, no particular order. Me, Max. This is Aaron. That, I don't know where he is for you. That's Jarren. And then there's another person who you can't see who's Kyle.
I'm the executive producer. You can see me.
He thinks he's the
You
executive
cannot see
producer.
me, but you can hear me.
We had an extra mic.
So if it feels like a
Are you the
ghost,
executive producer?
yes. And if you feel like a ghost is talking to you,
He's my long time.
ethereal.
He's long time bestie. I don't know that.
this is our format. She's not going to remember our names.
So
but
this is
you're gonna-
Abby.
You're gonna fire in.
Hey, Abby.
The quick. I mean, I
I'm like,
just
we'll get there eventually. We're good.
I just gave a little introduction to you to them, like tell them how
Oh,
we
God,
know each
what'd you
other.
say?
I just said, all right. So I said this. I said we grew up together. You know, Jewish Orthodox. You were also Jewish Orthodox, smart, hardworking in school, doing all the good shit, whatever. And then like we didn't see each other much for a while, so I didn't really know what you were up to, whatever. Kind of like the next time I see you, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but the next time I see you is like 10 years later, and you're like a non-denominational chaplain.
Whoa,
So, what?
Yeah.
that's a switch.
Yeah.
So you went from super orthodox
And
Jewish to
super Orthodox Jewish to non-denominational chaplain dating a black woman,
a black woman.
which is gay.
Wow.
Which
I
is
thought-
gay.
damn
Which
it,
is
I thought-
fine.
Well, no,
love
it's
it.
fine, but I thought I
So
might
we
have had
didn't
a shot.
Oh, Kyle wanted a shot. You can't see him, but he's a handsome man. But he doesn't have a shot, which is
All right,
fine.
well, if you,
I mean,
if you switch
I
back
hear your
teams,
voice. That's cool.
All right. If you switch back teams,
Also, I'm no longer with my girlfriend.
Kyle
Oh,
just
you got
clapped.
a shot, Kyle?
all right. Don't worry.
Hey,
it
hey,
easy.
Cal said he can tuck his dick for you if you need.
Okay, thanks. Good to know. I was like, that'll come sometime, you know? Also, this might not mean anything to any of you guys.
Yes.
But it's just been like kind of important to me. I don't know, maybe it'll resonate, but I actually don't call myself a non-denominational chaplain.
we're getting corrected
I used
already.
to identify as a non-denominational chaplain, but now I call myself a trauma chaplain or a Jewish chaplain, because one of the things I found is in the beginning, I thought Judaism like had to be theistic. So I was like, oh, if I'm like not theistic, I'm non-denominational. And then it was like really, really cool to learn that even within Judaism, you could be an atheist. And so
You're
kind of
using
like
big words, and we're all high school
reclaiming-
dropouts. Are we good?
Yeah.
yeah.
Non-denominational means you're not pertaining to any specific brand.
So that's really interesting because I feel that heavy. I feel super duper Jewish. For me, the way that like became a super thing was like when I was locked up, spent time with like a bunch of Nazis. I was like, oh, regardless of the God and Torah and hamburgers, like I'm fucking Jewish. So you know, I got this shit even though like I still eat pork. So I think similarly, it sounds
Yeah,
like you know
people
you're
don't
Jewish
realize, like,
whether
how
or not.
expansive.
Yeah. All right.
It's
The
really-
world of Judaism is.
I would say the world of everything. I mean, I think we just live in a world where we try to like make everything so narrow and then shove everyone through it. And I don't think much is as narrow as we tend to think it is.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Wait, so they have
What
denominations?
has that meant for you?
Oh, go ahead.
Who, me as a black Jewish person?
Jared's
Or you
Jewish.
is like when you say like that resonates, like tell me more.
Oh no, I was just saying just because you know, they try to I feel like as a black person, we're supposed to all fit in the same black box. And I don't feel like I fit in any particular black box.
Well, you
I feel
rap
like
and carry
I'm,
a gun.
I mean,
I saw that clip.
And have baby mamas. So
Yeah, you gotta be baby
no,
mamas.
You got a lot of the boxes checked, my friend.
But
I
for
think
other
put you
people,
in that box.
but for
I
others,
see, you see?
But no, I can
Okay.
relate. I'm gonna relate with you as well, Jarren, as a a light skinned black man as well. Half white. You know what I'm saying? So I also experienced that same shit where it's like motherfuckers, they expect you to be a certain kind of way, and we contain multitudes, right? We contain multitudes.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan and Walt Whitman. I love it.
Oh,
5
wow.
minutes in.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
She's a smart one too.
I told y'all she was smart. I don't even know what she's talking about, but
Yeah.
somebody.
Hey, how did Max have a hard time as an autistic person in school?
Can I tell tell you my favorite forever memory of
So
Yeah,
Max.
Max, let her do
I
it.
think that wraps up this
He's
episode.
gonna try to veto, and we're gonna do it anyway.
Let her do it.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so growing up, Max and I always took the bus together to school.
Short
And
bus?
Max-
But short.
Short?
No, it was long.
Okay.
Okay.
And it was even longer because we make so much trouble that my dad would get a call and be like, yo, behavior issues on the bus. It's going to be late.
Okay, long bus.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Max, tell me when I'm wrong, you
No,
know? So Max lived right on the corner where the bus stop stopped. He was like 2 houses away from the bus stop, and I lived like a few blocks away. So my dad would drive me and my sister to the bus stop, and we would just sit at the bus stop waiting for the bus. And every single day, it seemed like without fail, the image of Max would be his mom on the porch screaming, Max, the bus is here, the bus is here. He'd come like running out of the house, like jacket half on, his backpack for sure fully open, stuff falling out of it, like barely making the bus.
I bet
and
Red
the
Bulls
best
were falling out.
So that
That's
was
such
one
a
memory,
Max.
right? But he would also sometimes hide behind the tree for when his brother would come, like on the days when he had his shit together and he was like gonna be at the bus stop on time. And he would jump behind the bush and scare his brother, who would like freak out.
That's Max.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't think any of this is.
And you saw all this from the bus.
Oh, well, I mean, I was like
Nothing's
right there at the
changed.
bus
We
stop.
shared the same stop, but she lived a few blocks away, so she would always like be there mad early.
Oh, the bus
'cause,
stop
like,
hang. Yeah, I get
the
it.
bus
Did you
stop
know?
hang.
Did you know Aaron Cohen too?
Oh, hell yeah. We go way, we're still in touch actually.
We all had the
we've
same
been
bus stop.
texting.
Me, Abby, and Aaron. And Aaron's older sister and my older brother and Abby's older sister. We had the same
Totally.
bus stop. Moving on. So Chaplainism. How'd you become a chaplain, anyways?
Yeah, what is a chaplain?
What the hell is
Yeah,
that?
what's a chaplain? What the fuck are we doing?
That is a great question. So first I'm going to tell you what other people say is a chaplain, and I'm going to tell you why I'm a totally different kind of chaplain. So
Was
most
the guy that made silent movies? Was he?
I know he was going to throw some Charlie shit in there. Bars. Okay, go ahead.
what are you
Go ahead.
referencing?
He's throwing
Charlie
say the
Chaplin.
He's throwing short mustache jokes out at the Jewish lady. Not good.
Yeah, not good.
No, I was saying that the guy who created the
Yeah, we
silent
overstand
movies,
it, my
was
brother.
Was he a chaplain?
You know what? That is an amazing reference. Because
You're
the
giving
first
him way
time,
too much credit.
No, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength. I'll tell you why. The first time I had a unit to myself, I was an ICU trauma chaplain, and I wanted to like introduce myself to the people, you know, on the unit, like to the staff members, because on ICU you really got to like get connected to the staff. So I was trying to think. I was like, okay, how can I do it? Like, how can I introduce myself? So I went online and I found a picture of Charlie Chaplin. And he's like, the photo is like, he's peeking behind a wall with this like quizzical, like he's like that. And then I put in huge letters, who's the new chaplain? Question mark.
So we got 2 of them.
Yeah,
one
one of Mad
episode.
Libs right
Yeah,
now.
I guess.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Hey,
Jesus.
bars.
National expert.
I'm going to sound real stupid, and I apologize, guys. I was just dealing with something offline, and I got it straight now. So I kind of missed the whole breakdown.
So
the
that's
chaplain
pretty
thing.
much the theme of
That's
the show.
trauma. That's trauma. Jaren's disconnected. That's
Jaren's
trauma.
traumatic.
Exactly.
There you go.
Suffering trauma.
I'm
We have
good
a
now.
real live spiritual care session happening in real time.
Yes. Yes,
Can you fix
Maybe you can help
Jarren?
me out,
That's
Phil.
honestly why I brought you here. Jarren needs help.
I do.
And I thought
I
maybe
need a lot of help.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
dig them rituals, man.
Yeah?
I'm digging them.
Do you
Yeah,
guys
I
have
dig it.
rituals? Like, Jarren, do you have?
Yeah, I kind of do some weird shit, but it's not really that weird. I'm just now starting to do this, as we say. I was just telling Aaron, like, I tried before I start my day, like, to sit in the bed and meditate, you know, for 15 minutes. I just started doing this shit too. Open the blinds in the morning just to let the fucking sunlight
Oh,
in.
and you
I
were telling me
used
you
to-
do the cup of water thing.
I don't do the cup of water thing, but I do
You
open
do the
the blinds.
blinds.
And at night I do shut the blinds, but I'm not conscious as to like, I don't have a necessarily reason behind it from you. I just open the blinds because I'm like, I like some sunlight inside of the fucking house. And I do that every fucking morning.
Well, I'm curious. Now that we've talked, you tell me in a bit, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. Tell me if just like knowing that it's a ritual, having like a slightly different intentionality, does it start feeling different? Does it do anything different for you?
What's your
Now that I
ritual?
notice I'm going to. I'm unaware of it until you said what you do. But yeah, no, I don't. I guess I don't look at it as a ritual. That's my morning shit, and I have to get coffee. I
There you
cannot,
go.
and I get coffee every fucking morning.
Yeah.
I can't go a day without coffee.
Well, you know, in the temple, they like sprinkled water every morning. So for you, like maybe your holy water is coffee.
Yeah, I need that caffeine.
You seem really happy. Were you born that way, or was it?
She always
She
giggled
always
like
liked
that a
it.
lot.
Max.
Did you because I hear you apparently you grew up super religious and now you're not, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up super Christian and I wasn't, and that actually made me depressed, and I haven't really pulled back from that yet. I've like
Wait, what made you depressed? Christianity?
leaving no, just the idea of like there is no God, what's the point of the world, life is fucked, and you know, and I've transitioned from that. It's not I don't necessarily have like a Christian belief, but I believe in something. I don't know what it is really. But why were you always this happy? It's just kind of like I'm just interested. I see a lot of people sometimes who seem like they have their shit together more so, and I'm like, were you born that way, or do you have any tips?
Yeah,
of getting that
I
way?
think you got a dark side also that you're not sharing with us, but it's fine.
Well, no,
I
I
mean-
guess you go.
Well, Max, you go. You go and then I'll
No,
go.
I
And
do
then-
remember you. I mean, this is how I remember you, like from when we were kids, like happy, gregarious, and a little loony, which is
I
great.
prefer real, a little real.
Fine.
Yo, Max made it seem like you was about to be some fucking like stiff, like super.
No, I wouldn't
like,
invite a
He's like,
stiffy.
yeah, he's like, she's really woke. You know, she's really so. You
I said
know,
she's
kinda
really
like,
woke.
let's not. You seem like you're very.
She texted me
fucking
about voting.
open-minded.
She's
Yo,
been wokey.
can I ask a question about your job real fast? Because I think,
Yeah.
you know,
And then,
yeah.
Jarren, I want to go back to what you said. Can we put a push pin in that? Because that's, yeah.
Oh my gosh, she said a
Put a
push
push
pin.
She said
Holy
push
shit.
pin. I told you, okay?
Yeah. You got a push pinner in the building. But
It's so funny. It's like not a term I use, but I went for it.
okay, I want to know like an experience you may have had on the job as a chaplain where like it was just like some real powerful shit that went down, whether it's like, you know, they was about to die, or you know what I'm saying, like they came out, you know, trans and you helped them, or you know what I mean, like just give me some real shit that went down that you like, you know what I'm saying, that we could be motivated by, that we might make us cry.
Yeah, I can tell you something that happened today.
Okay,
She's like, I smothered a
No,
guy
I want
with
an
a pillow.
all-time great. That shit better be good, yo.
Well, you tell me. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is chaplaincy. I can tell you some big stuff. You know, it's kind of like, ooh, wow. But really, to me, chaplaincy is about turning minutes into moments. So, for example, the first time I worked with someone with schizophrenia, I was with him for 45 minutes,
Skitzo.
and I had no idea what I was doing.
Okay, pause.
okay?
Sidebar. So Jarren's like biggest song of his, like it's a huge song. I don't know if Jarren what is literally called Skitzo.
Anyways,
No,
yeah.
see,
So I had
that's the
to.
way
I
it
had
has
to.
be used. You facilitate an experience for someone. And so got him out of his room, huge deal. Got him to the window, and then I like started talking to him about like, what do you see? Okay, let's start with 5 things. Can you tell me 5 things you see? Which doesn't sound amazing, except when you think about what the intervention was doing, it was getting him to go from his closed world when he sits like this with his head down to opening up, to putting his shoulders back, to leaving his room, to then like looking, you know, like lifting up, opening up, to
I'm
like
taking my glasses off.
see the world.
Oh, take your
there
hood
we
off,
go.
bro. Here we go. He opening it up. Look at this shit.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
It's working.
Her magic is
Let's go.
working.
Now he's
Visor.
on it.
Let's go.
All right.
And I
Feel
said,
it.
I was like, tell me 5 things you see. You know,
What do you
because you
see?
got to meet someone where they're at. So then he did 5, and I was like, tell me about, we talked about those things. You know, we kind of did all those
She
things.
started
and-
interacting with shit outside of himself.
And what did
yeah,
he see?
and what does that do? It makes you
dope.
all of a sudden feel like there's something beyond you. You're not as locked into yourself, to your room, to the unit, to your problems. And you can kind of like start to connect and see and notice things and really pay attention. And then this is where it's funny when you said you thought maybe I'd be rigid. To do my job, I have to be the most open. I just have to be like, I just have to be
Yeah,
real,
Max,
as real as I can be.
painted the wrong picture,
Max,
man.
come on.
I didn't say she
He
was
was like,
rigid.
bro.
I said she was super.
No, he did. He
No,
did
you
speak
said that she
very
was
highly.
like super, like we
They're
can't
fucking with
curse
me.
around her and shit. Like
Yeah,
if
he
we
kind of made it
mention,
seem like that.
if
There's
we
one
mention
thing I said we couldn't
Jesus
mention.
or any other weird shit,
But you
We
know
thought
what?
you were
That's
gonna
cool,
have,
'cause
like-
then you were surprised, and a surprise
That's
is
they're
a
lying.
moment
They
of
said there's one thing we
spirituality.
can't mention, which we're not going to mention. Other than that, I think that.
Oh, right.
No,
There was a
don't.
moment.
Honestly, don't. Other than that, I said
I honestly don't remember that.
good.
No.
Nah.
Okay, so this explains philosophy through jokes. And in case you think I'm like, oh my God, so serious, I only read the jokes. Okay. And the jokes are in bold, so they're like really good. So you can like, I opened right up to it. Look at that. So I only read the jokes, but it's like the best joke book ever. And so he is explaining in this chapter the philosophy of religion. And this is, where is this quote? It's a koan from Buddhism. And he says, before I sought enlightenment, the mountains were mountains and the rivers were rivers. while I sought enlightenment, the mountains were not mountains and the rivers were not rivers.
You do peyote or some shit. Stop fucking around. We ask you questions and you talk about mountains and rivers and shit. What the fuck?
I mean, maybe it's just like infused in me. You know, I gotta be connected to life. But then after I reached Satori, the mountains were mountains and the rivers were rivers again.
I don't even know what that means.
We have no idea what the fuck you're
lost.
talking about.
I'm drowning,
maybe.
I feel like I kind of get something.
Jared definitely doesn't get it. I don't get it. None of us get
I
it.
try to break it down as best
tell
I
us
can.
why you're not
tell me
religious
what
anymore.
you
Break it
feel,
down.
hear, think. Let's just, yeah.
So it seemed like before this guy was enlightened, he looked at, I'm just taking the mountains and as the mountains and is whatever. But once he was enlightened, he began to see the bigger picture of things. And then once he lost that enlightenment again, or once he, I guess, what's the other phase you say he was in?
No, it's before I sought enlightenment.
Clearly he
while
didn't
I
get it.
sought enlightenment, and then
be
after
honest.
you reached.
He's
lost
okay,
the
hold on.
mountain
So
somewhere.
when he reached
You
enlightenment,
got it.
Jared's lost
that
in the
is when
mountains. He didn't get it.
when he reached enlightenment, that's when he saw the mountains wasn't the mountains, right? He saw something bigger.
That's when they became mountains again. It was,
When he well, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I give up.
That was pretty good.
no, how do you think you
I like
learn?
this.
You work it through. You're
Abby,
thinking.
break it
you're
down
like,
for us.
Okay.
Wait, anyone else have an idea or resonate in
Wait,
any
so
way
the
with
mountain
them?
transformed into the river? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm not.
But I feel like, I guess at the end of the day, he was just like, fuck it, the mountains are the fucking mountains and the river, it's like whatever the fuck. It is what it is.
It is what it is, real.
It is what it is.
It is
They
what
could
it
have
is.
There's
just said
a
that.
journey,
Why did they
right?
write all the
Things
mountains and shit?
Things go from
Good.
simple to complex, and then to like just kind of the core
Okay, but
basics.
through
For the
what
record,
vehicle
Jared
did
put his
that happen for
sunglasses
you?
back on.
What?
Oh yeah. I felt when
the mountains,
the
you gotta
sun was
look.
just too bright on my face.
The
when I looked
altitude of the
down.
mountains, the sun really beams.
So for me, what it was is darkness is another thing, and we can talk about that. But in terms of like my journey, is I moved to Boston. I thought I wanted to be a doctor, and I had to take all the science classes, and I worked harder than I've ever worked in my life. I did the library 18 hours a day, easy. I'd never taken physics, never taken chemistry. Was working my butt off. My grades really mattered. And I realized after a while that I was there like 7 days a week, 16 hours a day,
Wow.
and that included on like the Sabbath, on Shabbat. And after a while, I realized like, oh my gosh, it's Shabbat. And I'm like on the computer, oh my gosh, I'm writing. And it kind of like awakened this thing in me where I realized it's okay if I don't keep Shabbat anymore, but Shabbat was such a core part of my identity. It bothered me that I had left it passively instead of intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. And so I really said, I was like, I don't like that I just left this passively. So I really need to start figuring out what the heck do I believe? And for me, that started with the core question of, is there a God or is there not a God? And if it's yes, there's a billion paths this way. And if it's no, there's another billion paths this way. But it all kind of came down to this core idea. And so it really was this kind of like mundane reckoning of me in the library being like, I'm here and it's Shabbat. And like, whoa, I've been doing this. And like, what happened? And like, this is not how I live. Like, I want to like live intentionally. And then it started, you want a long word, a spiritual Bildungsroman, a spiritual coming of age saga.
What did you just say before that?
Bill's Ramadan. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Ram Das, that's what she said.
We just want to know how to
Yeah.
not kill ourselves.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
just-
know. We just don't want to get the suicides. How do we?
I think we gotta go to Bali. We gotta go to Bali to understand this.
Bali.
We gotta go to Bali. I just think.
So,
I think you're
that's what
born.
happened. And so then what?
I think you were born with a gift of, you're a sweetie, and that just is what it is. It feels, you seem like even you left the religion, you were like, oh, I guess I'm not Jewish anymore, or not Jew, but like, I guess I don't believe in God anymore. But
But
when
it
I
wasn't
did
so. It was like,
It was.
okay, I'm going to dive all in and figure this out. And as long as I'm staying true to myself and like connected and like figuring through and kind of in touch with that inner thing, I felt like if I had an anchor, I could then swing in the seas no matter how wild the waves got.
Yeah,
You know,
no,
how
exactly.
tumultuous.
You sound very like secure in yourself, where you could be like. For me, it was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not on anything now, and I'm just soaring through a rock through the space.
And that's terrifying.
Yeah, exactly. That is like anxiety. I mean, that's
worst.
everything. So yeah, it's interesting. It seems like you had that like core anchor secureness in yourself. That seems like it's hard to come by, or at least for me, it's been hard to come by.
I would have to give the props to my parents.
Your parent, okay.
Well,
how they raised me.
Let me.
I don't wait.
Go ahead.
So I disagree on that. I mean, no, I can't disagree that it works for you. It's interesting because like I relate much more to him. Like when I started to like lose what as a young person kind of fit for purpose. You know, and I was like, wait, this doesn't work for me. Like the way I've been taught, the way that the thing that's been packaged and served to me doesn't work for me. Like when that left because I didn't believe in it, I like was fucked up.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And so it seems like when shit hit the fan a little bit for you in terms of like your belief system and the platform, it was definitely a thing, but it didn't like send you. Did it? No. I mean, it seems like.
Can I tell you why?
Maybe it
Because
happened
I'm
a little
hearing
older?
slightly different things,
Okay.
and you tell me if I'm mishearing. For me, the way our psyche works is I always say you can't have like a vacuum. Your psyche can't stand a vacuum, which means if you take a story away, existential dread, right? So if you can, in other words, you can't just say I'm not going to eat sugar. Doesn't work. You have to say I'm not going to eat sugar. I am going to eat more fruit. Right?
Okay.
Like you have to kind of switch. You can't kind of create that hole. And so for me, I was like, you're right. I was pulling this away, but I was actively working to like figure out what I could put in its place. Whereas what I'm hearing from you guys is it was like, this doesn't work for me anymore.
See, my shit was different. I just kind of always, I wouldn't consider myself an atheist, but I always thought most of my family are Baptists. And they're super strong with you gotta believe in Jesus and all that type of shit. As a kid, I just thought it sounded like bullshit. And I didn't feel lost. And they kept since I was a fucking young kid to teenager, everybody would say, he's just going through a phase. He'll find Jesus when he gets older, Jarren. I know you. And from even when I was an adult, I'd be in a barbershop. All of my barbers were super religious. He'd be just like, you don't believe in Jesus and none of this and this. I was like, I'm cool. I didn't feel lost like I was on a fucking rock. It's not for me. It is what it is.
Existentially kind of ruined me. I think it was definitely scary because I was like, okay, if there's no God, this is it.
See, why is it? Why that's always got me. So I guess for my thing, it wasn't like it always seemed. And that's
What
what
are
my
you eating
mom
this
was.
evening?
Everybody
What's
was
going
like,
on,
oh,
man?
you don't
You can't just
believe
pull
in
up-
Jesus. You don't believe in God.
What are you
It's
making, a
like,
fucking
no,
pizza?
I believe that there's some sort of higher power
Through it.
that I believe in, and something that gives me a good sense. Like it's something that fulfills my spirit that I feel, and I know.
Are you eating high-end cheese while you say this? What the fuck is going on, bro? How you going? It fills my spirit while you're waving like brie in our face.
I never felt this.
What are you eating? Take us into your sensorial moment.
You had a moment with that cheese.
Cantaloupe?
Hey, watch
There you
it.
go.
They don't like.
Brie cheese, please.
We had a
Jarren.
whole thing about watermelon last episode.
Yeah, we got into it.
And
We got
black,
into it.
and yeah, just the black experience around
Should we get
certain
into race
stereotypes.
topics?
No.
Oh, they had a
I
couple
think we
questions
should.
for you.
But the only question
We could
I have is, did you ever like have a dude be like, literally, I killed somebody right before he died and then died, or something like that, confess some gangster shit to you?
I had someone tell me, and it's going to sound crazy, and then it's going to sound a little less crazy, that he killed his wife.
Yes.
And dismembered her.
Yes.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Did you hug him?
Did you French
You
kiss
never
him?
You know,
hugged
it's so
him?
funny. People always think, especially when they know me, people think like chaplains are all about like validation.
We were like, yo,
and
you about to go to hell, my
compassion.
dude.
And, like, super sweet.
I don't
Right.
believe in hell,
Right.
but maybe for you.
I'm gonna call God and tell him to send your ass to
But
hell.
like they think we're like super sweet and super loving, like, tell me more. And that's part of it. But also, if you know anything in your own lives about healing, sometimes you need people to like cut you deep and make you see things and
were
be
like-
willing to be real with you. And
What'd you
like,
say to him?
Sounds like that guy knew how to cut deep.
this could
good.
not
All right.
be the clip that you pulled.
This is the only
Unbelievable.
clip that we're going to
the
use.
clip.
This is the only one we're going to use for the
Well, we'll see
entire
what happens
episode.
over the next.
Just so you know.
abort.
For sure, the clip. That's
But it turns out that he had kind of advanced dementia
Oh.
in a way that wasn't clear.
So he didn't really do it.
So it's excusable.
No, he
Yeah,
didn't really
that's why I
do
said
it.
it's going to sound crazy and then
well,
bring
we
it
don't
back.
know if he did it.
That's the thing.
He
Because
just couldn't
dementia's
really
a
remember
good
that well.
excuse.
Exactly.
Kill
Real.
all the people
Yeah,
with
that's
a-
understandable.
I cut my wife's legs off. Ooh, I'm crazy. I've got dementia.
That's the
Dementia.
advantage of old age, right?
I'm old.
All right, so he confessed that he dismembered. That's wild, yo. What did you feel like right when he came at you like that? Like, yo, I cut them up. Did you be like, yo, get away from me? What'd you say?
To be a good chaplain, to be a good therapist, my psychology professor said the number one thing,
No judging.
introductory beginning psychologists need, and I say everyone needs this, is to develop techniques for self-soothing your own anxiety. Because imagine you're a new therapist and someone comes to you with a trauma history and you're like, what am I going to do? Where do we start? What do I say? How do I help? Like, it's just going to fill you up. And so one of the first things I had to learn was self-soothing, so that like it doesn't become about me in that moment and I'm not like freaking out, because then I can't really be present with someone. So you have to kind of like develop tools to be able to hear things and sit with people and not kind of like make it about you.
So you soothe yourself and then just kind of vibe with them on where he was at with the situation.
And for me, it's really like open mind. Okay, like tell me more about that. Like,
Oh, shit.
what happened? What was that like for you? What did that feel like?
What did it feel like as you were
I'm not
cutting
saying
into
like
your
the
wife?
It's like a Law and
Was this
Order
funny to
episode.
you?
But like with the race thing, you know, obviously you dated interracially, and you know, I'm curious because we have an issue going on where Max says that black women smell different than white women, and so you know, I don't
Is
have
that
that
the one thing Max
experience.
was like, don't bring up?
No, that actually
No.
wasn't even far close to it.
No, not even close. Yeah, I stand by
curious
that.
what-
He
And,
really
and by
did
the
that.
way,
Don't bring
I
up.
looked into it, and it's real.
Well, okay, so there's certain levels of biology that support where he's coming from, but let's
They
Like
lean
what?
a little, they lean
we
a
also
little
have
right.
Like, catch me
anecdotal
up.
experience, right?
Well, I mean, there's okay. Briefly on my
we
research,
have anecdotal experience as well, though. So I get what you're saying. There's
we want to talk
chemicals-
about the anecdotal.
But yeah, we smell like I've been with a bunch of different races, and I don't really notice any patterns for me, except for that, you know,
Yeah,
if
neither
I'm,
do I.
you know, like
Same
if you-
here. The only race I noticed the pattern is Asians. That's it.
Asians,
Well, he says white
Yeah.
people smell like salami, but
baloney.
Yeah. White people, but that's
Oh,
not
salami,
all white
yeah.
people. But I've noticed that there's like a kind of like certain white people have like a dog, salami
going.
type
You said there was a
smell
fat
to
guy
them.
eating salami, and then
Wait, did
later
you
on he
say
smelled like
dog?
Are you
salami.
talking about
salami?
women? Like,
no, he's saying
no,
or
dudes.
just white people? Like,
Yeah.
like situated.
Most of my wet dog salami experiences have been with white males. Like I've had some white male homies, and I've noticed like they had like some of them had that like, you know, salami type smell.
salami dog smell.
Salami.
Yeah, salami
Fine.
dog type smell.
I love that it's not just like salami. It's like salami subcategory salami dog.
Yeah,
It's like a wet
That
dog.
was
It's like
salami
a-
dog.
it's
I like that breakdown.
Wet
it's like
salami dog. So
like a meat smell.
But you know, and I haven't noticed it. I have noticed a little bit of, you know, here or there, but nothing, you know, racial along those lines that much. But Max
Swears by it.
has definitely had a lot of
and I've
different
been talking about it for
experiences.
years. And someone who no, it's fine. So Kyle, who you can't see, is really good friends with Aaron Cohen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we actually talked about this years ago. And so like most of the black people I know don't smell it, don't agree with me, and like Aaron does.
Yeah.
And so I in two ways, with women and then even basketball. Those are like the two places I've been in close contact with
Black
people sweats, black people sweating, and
people
it's different
sweats.
to me. It smells different. I don't know.
Max likes black sweat though. Straight
Oh,
up.
when it's a woman.
I never, as far as
be clear.
women, white women, black women, only female that I've been with that I noticed the consistent pattern of smell has been Asian women. That's it. But I don't notice the black smell, Max.
Chaplain,
Yes.
any thoughts on you know, different smells racially? I know you've been, you know, around the world. You know what I'm saying, in terms of your dating patterns.
No, I mean to be honest and truthful, I've never thought about it.
It's not a think about
because
thing. It's an
you're not a
experience
racist, which is fine. That's good, and it's good.
She doesn't see color,
Okay.
but a realist.
We like that you're not
I
racist.
mean, I can't like go back and be like,
Like when I kiss black people, I notice they kind of taste like fried chicken.
No, but like, you know, I get it. Like, so was it an interesting experience with dating?
say like pheromones are big, right? Like there's definitely people who like I feel like attracted to their smell.
Oh, okay.
Like just and like and I
Yes.
or like I'll feel
Yeah.
attracted to someone and then it will like turn out to be like this is crazy and like pheromones are definitely
What made you go
involved.
black?
You know.
What made you go black? And will you go back?
Individual thing. So you can answer the question yourself.
I like this.
I think when I started dating my girlfriend, who is still very important in my life, everyone like expected that I would have some like. It was the first woman I ever dated. Never ever dated women before.
How old were you when you noticed that you were into women?
So that's the thing. I'm not into women.
Okay. Wait,
I was into her, and it was like this thing. I saw her on the dance floor. We were at a club, and
y'all was getting busy on the floor.
And I just saw her, but it was. I was like,
ooh, you were feeling it.
It was like crazy, and like she was just on my radar. And again, she's still so important in my life. But and so
when was the last time you talked to her?
Women would walk by and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about her?" And I'm like, it's like I just like I'm open to who I feel a connection with, and people that knew me were like, "Yeah, that makes sense." Like you felt it with her, like you felt open enough and like again grounded enough to like go for it and try it. And there was no like sexual identity crisis. There was no like, "Oh my God, who am I? Like who am I now? Like this is new, this is different." I was like, "Yeah, let's roll with it."
How was it? Would you compare it to dating a male? I know it's probably a completely different experience, but what do you find that you like more?
I would say, and this is so funny because I'm a camp counselor, so I got a lot of like young people who are in my life, in terms of like mentoring and counselor relationships and stuff. And the thing that I always try to convince young people, especially young men, is like, don't talk to men about what women want. Talk to women about what women want.
I disagree.
What?
Women don't know what they want. That's all the worst advice I've ever gotten from dating are from other women. They'll turn you into like an incel.
Can I give you my dating advice?
Yeah, let's hear yours.
And then give me your honest feedback.
Okay, I'm interested.
And I'm gonna ask you something else too about dating.
We all have all these questions because we want to know what it was like to be with a black woman as a white woman. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go back to the to penis, you know what I mean?
That's where you're like, let's get to that tonight.
if there's gonna be
that's all these two assholes want to know.
Well, I want to know about. I like the race stuff and the sex stuff.
I'm gonna
you know
ask
what I
you
mean? But because it's an interesting experience. To hear from somebody on those levels. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, what's your dating advice? We actually have a lot of listeners who actually don't know how to. They say pick up chicks. When we said
listeners some fucking dating advice.
They should stop saying pick up chicks for sure. Step one, but let's hear.
So step two.
Step two, yeah, we got step one is get rid of that.
We were able to handle
That's
that
all we
ourselves.
had. Now what's step two?
So step two, and now this might sound so basic and so cliche. Just hear me out. Let me say it in my own words.
Okay.
Fair.
Depending on the words, yeah.
And how long it takes.
And how long it takes. We're not going to hear you out for now.
Okay, I'll be quick.
honest.
I'll be quick. Because it's often the simple things that people miss, right? People do that in other areas of their life, right? Like I'm really big into personal finance, and people always want to know the next level. And it's like, are you doing the basics? So it's like, and there never are. They always just want to feel like they're like masters, but it's like you do the basics first, and then you go to the next level. So like the number one basic thing is, again, sounds cliche. I don't just mean listen. I mean, like, actively and genuinely be curious and ask questions about someone else. And what I mean by that is on a limbic system in our brains. Okay, so on one of the most primordial levels of our brains below our higher cognitive functioning, you can tell if someone is truly listening and interested in you. You can't fake it. I can tell if a guy's just trying to pick me up from 100 miles away.
Cow.
You said Kyle.
Oh, I thought you said how.
No,
No, that was his southern twang.
Yeah.
So you can. So what I mean, I don't just mean like
Referring to
listen
me.
to women. Women like to be heard. I mean,
Kyle's
like,
coming to
get
Stewart
your
Park for
shit
Thanksgiving.
together and be curious and step outside yourselves. And that's actually takes a ton of spiritual growth and courage and like maturity to truly be able to do that. So people talk about it in this very simplistic, like, listen. And I'm like, no, genuinely be curious. I can tell. Ask questions. Do you know how many first dates it's just the guy? Guys always think they're going to impress you by like saying, this is all the cool shit I do. This is what I've done, blah, blah, blah. And like to us, what I hear is like ego.
No, I
But
do.
that's not how you connect.
I
That's
do
not
agree
how you
with that.
connect
I
with
love
other
like
humans.
listening in on first dates. Like if I'm out and about and I hear the guy yapping,
flex,
yeah,
the
you can
flex.
tell the guy. And I've been here and I wrote a journal about this, and it's like, oh, bro, you are not getting any pussy tonight.
I know you think you're
gotta
like
stop.
impressive. You're actually the opposite of
It's
impressive.
I used to do it too, though, where you think it's good, but then once you see it,
So you just
you're
ask like the right questions. They talk and talk and think you're a great listener. It's great.
oh yeah,
I told our guests, man, I think the best
Genuine,
shit they
Max.
should
You
do.
missed the genuine part.
Yeah, y'all can't really tell. I've never genuinely
I
listened
think
to
the
him.
best thing.
There's
to
good
tell,
fakers
I
out
mean,
there.
I told our guest this shit. Just don't even look at it as a dating thing or like some shit to where you're trying to score
Two
points.
people
Just like have a
connecting.
real, just fucking conversation without no expectations from it. Just that's
See,
it.
you can't tell. You can't tell. You're nodding your head. He's full of shit.
He's full
You
of
can't
shit.
tell.
That was his test.
I
No,
was
that's a
dead ass
dead, that's a
I'm
dead
nodding
serious
my
thing.
head because of his idea as like it's true. Like
Yeah.
when you're
Well,
trying
no, but
to
there-
friend
I was
He got you.
telling
He
anyway,
got you.
you
No, he's
can't do
being
it.
real. That's a real ass thing. I
Yeah.
totally
Yeah,
agree with you.
And I
He's
felt
being
that,
Abigail,
Jarren.
Abigail,
Yeah, what
listen.
is this guy
Yes,
Max
Kyle.
talking about?
Listen, Abigail. I hear what you're saying. I do think that there are people who are really, really good at like authentically appearing, genuinely connect, and it might be hard to determine the difference.
Yeah.
You know,
For true.
Yeah.
Like,
But I get
and
your
again,
point.
like I'm
The
a
worst
chaplain.
people.
My job has always been
Like me and
I've
Max.
both
Yeah,
been
me and
skilled at it. I have
Kyle
a gift for it, and
are
I'm
really good
trained
at
in
fake
it. So I'm
Yes.
just really good at reading
You're
people and emotionally
yes.
connecting.
You
So
can
I'm saying
tune
for
in.
me,
No, that's real.
I can tell.
you
Yeah.
can tune in
And
most
I want
cases.
someone who can connect with me. And if you're not there yet, you got to grow out.
Okay,
Like,
okay, that's real. Aaron,
boundaries.
got to be able to connect.
Yeah,
Gotta
no,
be able to
I
listen.
totally agree. I think most of my sexual experiences have been from people I know anyway. You know what I mean? Just in a genuine, like, whether we are like in a friend group, whatever we work, whatever it is, it's always like any dating experience comes from just like, oh, I'm just being myself. And when we end up having a genuine moment, any of the things, I think I have tricked probably a few of thinking I'm listening by just being like, what do you do? And then just let them go. But
dum-dums.
it's never as
Let
fun.
them go like a dog in the
dum-dums.
park.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
dum-dums.
the dum-dums. You let
Yeah.
them go, and it's just they'll talk for a while. But the genuine ones are more fun anyway. You know what I mean? When you
Yeah.
actually connect.
Yeah.
If you
The
just
real
let
ones.
someone talk, then
And
afterwards
just
you're
to
like,
make a note, you don't only connect through talking. So I don't mean to say that a good date is like you
Kyle's
shut up and
loving
she
this.
talks
He's
her ear
humping
off.
the air
That's
over
not
it.
connection either.
yeah. You need to like connect, like fit, like yeah, it's a vibe, it's an energy.
Yeah, it's like sometimes
dance.
it's talking
It's
and
a
listening.
dance.
Sometimes it's movement, eye contact, physical. Like they're
No,
like
it's just bumping
but you
music
just
together.
Be genuine.
It's
Yeah.
a dance. The whole experience.
Just be genuine. That's it.
The whole
And the
experience
And the thing
is a
you
spiritual
can't
dance.
fake that. That comes from spiritual maturity and growth and courage and like it's so much more than just like
There it is.
you just can't fake it.
There it is, Aaron.
So all our listeners, you hear that? You gotta be genuine. Just
Keep it
be
real.
you.
Unless you're
Yeah.
so
And have
fucking work, it
spiritual
don't work.
growth and have courage, right? When you step to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Don't just step to them if you're not grown. You know what I'm saying? If your spirit is dead and you try to step to someone, they're gonna detect
They're
that.
gonna
They can
tell.
smell that
What if
shit
you're
a mile
just trying
away.
to smash? Should you still try and connect, or just be like, "Yo, you're cute. Let's fuck"?
Just be a prostitute.
Yeah, and that's
Well,
what
I mean, I
Max
think,
does.
like,
So that's what he
No,
doesn't
I'm
know.
talking
No,
about
let's
for his
get-
fans.
let's get the
'Cause
chaplain's- let's get the chaplain's
some of
view
his
on
that.
fans,
Wow, fans.
some people want to like find a girlfriend and date, and some people just want to like
Yeah,
be
I'd like-
smashing.
I'd like to know the
so,
chaplain's
So
view
do
on
you
that.
think authenticity is important for that, or just?
Yeah, I think so.
Jared,
Well, I think it's important in different ways. Like I think if what you want is a one night stand, like that's like there's so many different ways to connect physically. Like I'm not a chaplain who's like, no, you can only be in relationships. Like no, sex is real. Like sex is like a bodily thing. I think like consent is important, making sure that like
What
you're
Kathy said.
communicating
Very,
and you're
very
both
important.
aware and like you're on that like that doesn't mean use people. I would never condone like using people. But I think I don't think every interaction you have to have with someone has to be like deep relationship romantic. Like I think there's a billion
like that.
as someone who values connection,
Yeah.
I think there's a million kinds of connections. Some of them last one night.
Respect.
Some of them last 3 months. Some of them last 20 years.
Yeah, that's real. I think there's a big difference in like genuinely connecting, being like, let's just enjoy each other for this one night or this 2 nights, whatever it is,
Amen.
as opposed to being like, let me see who I can masturbate with their body. It's
Yeah.
like there's a big difference in like using somebody in that way, or just being like, yo, that was so much fun, and you feel different afterwards.
Are you
And
gonna
that's
bring-
a hard pace. That's a hard space to be in.
That's a hard place. Are you gonna have
Yeah.
bring children into this crazy, pandemic out world, Abby?
I'm struggling.
do you want to? Do you know if you want to?
So I've seen a lot of kids, die, parents lose their children, and I will say that I've asked the ones I've gotten close with, like,
Is it
who
worth it?
I felt obviously that I could ask this, like, would you do it again?
Is it worth it? Right.
Like, I see your pain. I'm holding you on the ground. Like, every single parent I've asked has said without a doubt,
Do that shit. Yeah.
Do I have a kid again?
Yeah. They say
Yeah.
do that shit.
come
Yeah,
what
the
may.
kid. That's the thing. The kids are fucking amazing. It's never a problem with the kids. It's even though I said I already got 2 kids, but even though I wasn't ready for another kid, it's still like the kids are always amazing. There's never a problem with the kids. It's just that a problem with just
But I'm scared. Like,
connected to their moms.
What are you scared
I'm
about?
scared. Like, I mean, this world, I've seen kids, 21-year-olds get hit by trucks, brought into the ICU, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
That's the worst feeling of being a parent. You always think something will happen to your kid. You
and
always
I don't
know it every
I don't
day.
know how to do that. I don't know how to compute the equation, if you will, of I'm going to bring a child into this world.
And maybe
I'm gonna
that happens.
love that child more than I ever thought I could love, more than if it's going to totally like break any previous notion of love. And then I'm going to have actually zero, like actually functionally zero ability to protect
I'll tell you,
them.
let me break it down for you real fast. It's the same as a relationship in a different way, but it's the idea of something being your everything. So
It's different
It's
because
different.
well,
the love for a child is something I can't even.
And they're so
shit, I can't even
vulnerable. Like
explain
it's
it.
on you to protect them, and you can't.
Yeah.
no, but there's
That's
a
the
level
only
of
fucked up
control
thing
you
is that
have.
You always worry. You always worry.
So this is
You always
watching this
work
is
fear.
interesting because Abby's a chaplain.
Yes.
Jarren's a father.
Yes.
You're not.
Right.
But I know that Kyle's also. I mean, I don't want to. Do you want to say?
You can say whatever.
Okay. So Kyle's been in a program for a long time about. Well, it's called Al-Anon.
Yeah.
So like he's learned a lot about like how dealing. I mean, I don't want to say
No,
it
you
for
can
you,
say
but
whatever
like,
the fuck.
like learning how to like accept the lack of control. So like my experience with Al-Anon is like I've put people in Al-Anon. Like my mom, like how the fuck am I going to deal with my drug addict son? Well, it's out of my control. She went to so Kyle's done like a lot.
I
of
can
that
actually
for
even
different-
take it a step further because I was adopted, right? So, when my birth mother, I actually reconnected with her, and when she told me about the moment when she let me go, right? She had this. It was like really powerful when I learned this. This is 2 years ago that I reconnected with her, and she told me that she had to realize that I did not belong to her, and that I belonged to the universe. And so she said, "I love you." And I release you. She was not ready to be a parent. Her trauma was too deep, She cried telling me that. And so I understand what you're saying when you say like, there's nothing like being a parent and the love that runs super deep and all that stuff. But I do think there needs to be, in general, if you're going to be able to live in this world, knowing that, or have a child, knowing that something crazy could happen or tragic could happen, that child at the core level is not your property, right? Is your genetics, but like that does not belong to you on that deep of a level, and is separate from you in some way, and you need to be able to let them go on some level, or else you're just not going to be able to live straight.
How do you get past that paranoia? Like, how do you? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm off. One of my kids' mothers is, and I got 2 kids with her. She's super like she's more laid back as far as letting them go. Like my son walks home from school and school just started up, and I'm find myself like fucking driving at the fucking school at 2:00 when he's walking home just to make sure. And it's like I'm always. But I was like that as a kid. I was worried about my mom.
But
too.
I think that's your own anxiety and your own stuff for sure, and that's real. In the same way that Abigail mentioned self-soothing, right? Like that's that piece. It's like to be able to say, okay, there's crazy shit in this world that my kid could end up, dying as a result of, or whatever the case may be. I need to soothe my own anxieties, take care of myself around it. That is some Al-Anon shit. Like, so that like I can show up for my kid in a way that's like protecting them, not helicoptering them, and also modeling that like, I love you, but at the same time, you're your own person. You know what I'm saying?
Because like Jan, you could also take that to the end. You could sit outside his classroom because like there could be a school shooter at any period, any day of the year.
I mean that.
So,
it's kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, so I think it's a
Wow.
matter of like
My
setting
head
a
with the
boundary
shit.
that works, probably that's healthy, that like works for you. You know
But
what I mean?
it's
'Cause
wild
you could
out here.
take that to any
I would say
extreme.
it's a spectrum,
Yeah.
right? Because a certain amount of protection is just normal. That just is
Yeah, of
the
course.
lot of the
It's
parent.
really funny to watch you two because like sorry, you go ahead.
No, it's just a spectrum. And so like, I think a certain amount, Jarren, is totally normal, but then it gets to a point where you don't want to be that anxious parent. I think being an anxious parent is like one of the most unhealthy things for kids to grow up in.
Yeah.
Is like an anxious, but you're not saying you're anxious. At least that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you like you're protective. You think about your kid a lot, right? But I think it can go to an extreme to being an anxious parent and having an anxious system and an anxious family system. And that's really not good.
Yeah, that's why we keep working on it, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you're not like super crazy, next level anxious, waiting outside the thing, but you do deal with anxiety. And as you continue building and working, you continue, growing and improving your game in that area, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, even thinking about the fucking cougar shit. There was a fucking coyote I saw in the fucking neighborhood one time, and it's like, yo, for the longest I couldn't I don't want my kids walking to school. This fucking coyote might pop out and fucking attack them. It's like,
And that's biological. I mean, you got that
Crazy
evolutionarily built into you to be that like.
Might be the Adderall.
I want to get rid of it. I mean, not necessarily get rid of it, but I want to calm it down. Maybe Kyle. I need to get a session with Kyle.
I got you, bro. Don't worry.
I'll broker
He'll
that.
teach you some stuff. Well, you know, my supervisor, who I've mentioned a few times now, she once told me, I asked her, I was like, I'm so stuck on the kid question. Like,
Kyle's
I want
my supervisor.
kids. I don't want to be alone, you know, with just a partner for like, you know, like, what do I do? And one of the things she said that really taught me a lot, or like kind of shifted the conversation, at least inside of me in a real way, is she said it comes down to a question of how much of life do you want to experience?
That's it for me. Like when I think about like
How much are
crazy
you going to open yourself up
experiences,
to?
I like that.
like skydiving, right? I went skydiving. It was just like such a one of a kind experience that like I wanted to experience. Like when I think of like the most extreme feeling
you
experience
wanna
in
do all the
life,
shit.
it's fucking having kids. Like what could be more like intense than that? Oh really? You get to like
Totally.
own a baby and he's partially your stuff? It's crazy. That's
yeah.
intense.
It's
I love it.
Go
I
don't
want a
have
little
kid, man.
Max. That sounds so cool.
No, I definitely love that full spectrum of experience and shit. You know
For
what
me,
I mean?
that settles it.
Like what you know, and especially if you have the opportunity to. You know, a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
Yeah.
people don't get to do travel or don't get to eat cool shit or you know what I'm saying? And to be able to partake in that and maybe even help other people do it and shit, that's a great vibe for life. You know what I mean?
Abby, so are you decided on babies? Or
How
you
many?
don't know yet?
How
We'll
many?
see.
How many are we having, Abby?
I'm gonna put like my fingers up in like a dramatic way because I'm gonna be dramatic about it. Okay, so it's gonna like
do
slowly
it,
come
yeah.
up into the screen.
Oh, you're gonna have 5 kids?
I've always said I'd love to have like 2 of my own and then adopt 3. I just like want a big family. I want like boisterous. I want big holidays.
Same.
I want
I
like,
want like 5 to
and
7.
but I'm
Everyone,
33,
should
so
we
for-
all agree that
5?
we're all having at least 5 kids?
Yes.
Jared, you're almost there.
I'm in.
Packed right
I-
You
now.
guys are all near 5?
I got
What?
3.
I got 2. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
I thought you were saying everyone wanted 5 here, and I was
Yes,
like,
I want
dang.
5.
Oh, you need to
Oh,
plug
you
in.
want
Hold on.
5?
We're shooting for 5. Yeah, we all shooting for 5.
Yeah, we're shooting for 5, but we're probably not gonna all hit that mark.
And I can't do them all
I'm a little
myself.
ahead of-
expensive,
I'm a
bro.
little bit ahead of all you guys.
That
I'm
shit's
naming the
expensive.
first one Carlos, obviously, as you know.
You
I got
have
some
to.
catching
Of
up to do.
course. We just had
You do
a
not have catching up, Jarren.
yo. My computer's now about to die as well. I think
Yeah.
we covered life.
Life's about getting
Can I just read a
experiences.
quote?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
please.
bring us
You
out
have
on a quote.
3%.
Close the shades for us. Close the shades on the house for us.
So I mean, there's ways to kind of say that this touches a lot, but this is by a German amazing poet named Rainer Maria Rilke. And I think a lot
German.
of what we've talked about
We don't
tonight
like
has been
Germans
kind
here.
of like, what?
Nothing. Go on.
Has been kind of like developing your own sense of self to be able to have the confidence to kind of like find your healing, find your path. You know, I think that's kind of like been a theme tonight. And then especially when it comes to marriage, he says, "It is a question in marriage, to my feeling, not of creating a quick community of spirit by tearing down and destroying all boundaries. In other words, becoming one, right? But rather, a good marriage is that in which each appoints the other guardian of his solitude and shows him this confidence the greatest in his power to bestow. A togetherness between 2 people is an impossibility. And where it seems nevertheless to exist, it is just a narrowing, a reciprocal agreement which robs either one party or both of his fullest freedom and development. But once the realization is accepted that even between the closest human beings, infinite distances continue to exist, a wonderful living side by side can grow up if they succeed in loving the distance between them,
Is
which
anyone
makes it
still with
possible
her?
for each to see the whole and against the whole wide
No
set.
way.
I'm on the fucking mountain right now, bro.
I'm in the river.
But I,
That was dope.
Can I say something about
I
you?
got
I
halfway
love
through.
your passion for that shit because I like that even though we're all like kind of on a different wave from those things, you stick it out, Abby. Much respect.
Yeah,
and love
much
to you.
respect.
I told you she'd be amazing.
Much
She's
respect,
love.
Abby.
Yeah, super dope guest,
Thanks
man.
for
You was
having
nothing
us.
like what
Thanks
Max
for coming.
described you as.
Well, thank you guys for having me. This was
Wait,
like
do you
super
curse?
fun to come home from work and know I would just be like talking to you guys.
Can
and
you
I knew it'd be
curse
a good
for us
time.
once? Just one curse word?
Say one word.
Shit.
All right.
Say the
That's
F
it.
word.
I wanted to F.
Fuck.
They want the
Yeah,
E.
she said it.
Hey!
Uh,
The other F word? Okay,
What's the
bye.
other?
That's it. That's Jaren's favorite word.
That's Jaren's favorite word.
Okay, that one went over my head. But I don't think anything else went over my head tonight.
No.
Hey, man,
Yo,
super dope guest.
Thank you so
for,
much, Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
coming on.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you, Max, for inviting me. Thank you all for having me.
You're
Yo,
dope
thanks
and you're
for coming.
beautiful. But
Take it easy.